up, guys? I know I said 7. It's 7:15. I had some maintenance stuff to do. Plus, my computer wouldn't recognize me right away, so it was a little later. Let me share this real quick. But more of the same. A lot of frustration. A lot of blaming. The blame game is certainly rampant right now. Look, nobody wants to be where we are, but we are where we are. It's the offense coming off 19 strikeouts. A really bad strike zone from Bill Miller. Look, that's not an excuse, but it was a reality. I do know one thing. Michael Harris will be fine, but he cannot be batting leadoff right now. It's just not good. But 5-13. And it's the lowest margin of error for a baseball team that I've seen in a while. And it stinks. The pitching's not great either in terms of the rankings, but I think until the offense can show any consistency to give us a margin of error, it's hard for me to complain as much about the pitching, even though, yes, it's an issue. But until there's some consistency and some wiggle room for the entire pitching staff, I really can't tell. It's a whole collective effort. Obviously, this ugly disaster of a start. But, I mean, you got Alex Verdugo coming up for Bryan De La Cruz. I'm actually surprised Jarred Kelenic survived. But I guess Jarred Kelenic gives you a little bit more defensively than De La Cruz, but Jarred Kelenic has made some boneheaded plays in the outfield as well. So I think it's just the lesser of two evils, kind of. And I think Verdugo has some leadoff experience, so that could be a thing as well. And then you've got, I actually would like to see Eli White get some chances. He's put up some really good at-bats and more consistent playing time recently. I've liked what I've seen from him. Nick Allen as well. He's taken the bulk of the offense. Which is nice. Drake Baldwin getting his first career homer was the bright spot of yesterday's game. Obviously, you don't like the Spencer Schwellenbach fifth inning, but again, the margin of error, and Spencer Schwellenbach has struggled in his two starts against the Toronto Blue Jays. Sometimes that's just your team, and if you're the pitching staff right now, you're probably putting a little bit of extra pressure on yourself because things are going so poorly offensively. If you give up more than one run, you feel like we're down 25, and that's not it's not the right way to It's not the right way to feel. It's not the right way to believe, because you gotta free will things in baseball, because it's hard enough. You gotta have a carefree kind of no holds barred attitude. And right now, I think everybody's playing really, really tight, trying to do everything right. And conversely, that's making us do everything wrong. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion about something happening firing wise, and people keep questioning the players' reactions, in terms of the players and Snitker's reactions, saying, I don't know. I don't know what if I'm being honest, I don't know what the correct response is, because they're trying so hard that there's steam coming out of their ears, and you can tell. So obviously, saying I don't know isn't the best plan of attack, but what you gonna do? You got to keep swinging to try to get yourself out of this. But as a collective lineup, without Marcell Ozuna, and they're all of them are pressing. The fans are pressing. We're all trying to figure out, put our finger on it. And obviously, I've seen a lot of things about Ron Washington and Eric Young Jr., and I know that is definitely probably a factor. I've said it since they got their opportunity, but you can't, saying that feels like a yes, it's valid, but coaches change and get bigger opportunities and get managerial opportunities every time. That can't be the reason that we are absolutely struggling in every area, because Ron Washington and Eric Young Jr. left. Eric Young Jr. and Ron Washington deserved the opportunity they got, and that's just how it goes. Staff change, and you've got to, does there maybe need to be a better vocal leader and more feisty and all that stuff? Yes, but I thought you were going to get that from Jurickson Profar. But every day I get madder and madder at Jurickson Profar, because he really set us back on so many different areas. He was going to be the leadoff guy. You got that. You lengthen the lineup that way. He takes a lot of pitches. He's a little extra feisty. You've got all that. But now, since he got popped for Peds and was super selfish, you set the entire organization back. Alex Anthopoulos doesn't look great. The offseason doesn't look great. It didn't look great anyway, because the ownership clearly wanted to reset the luxury tax, and that's fine. But when it's your one big acquisition that was supposed to fill a lot of the holes, and now he was super selfish and made it. I get it. You make a mistake. Fernando Tatis and Noelvi Marte and those guys, they've come back and done well, but it doesn't help us now in the present. And I think that may be weighing on some things as well, because the Braves pride themselves on organizational culture and clubhouse and all of that stuff, and that may be tainted with the Jurickson Profar, because it's such a diabolical trickle down effect, as it were. And you just gotta fight through. Obviously, we just got to fight through it, and nobody's going to feel sorry for us. But I feel like that's really hard to overcome. And obviously, the Ron Washington and Eric Young stuff is true, and it's going to be true, but that's not a what's up, Hudson. I started a little later because I had to do some maintenance stuff, and my computer did not recognize my face for some reason. So it took a little longer to set it up. But we've got Verdugo coming up, De La Cruz going down. Maybe that'll help. I would love to see Eli White in the leadoff spot to see if that'll spark something. Have Harris down in the order a little bit. Hopefully Marcell Ozuna is back in the lineup from his hip inflammation. Hopefully that's all it is. But who knows? But the most annoying comments is that the Braves are bad because we don't have Eric Young Sr. and Ron Washington, and they left an indelible mark and things like that. But guys change all the time. Coaches change organizations all the time. That cannot be an excuse. And it is what it is. For that, yeah, Strider deserved better yesterday. And I think that Snickers shouldn't have put him out there in the 6th, but yeah, he pitched well enough for us to win, and that was the most important thing. And have him back out there and have the vibes that he brings, and the no BS attitude. And oh yeah, and my favorite thing is the contracts that these guys signed: the Matt Olson contract, the Michael Harris contract, the Sean Murphy contract. They don't deserve them, and we shouldn't have signed them, and we need to trade our core players. Like, one, they're core players for a reason, and two, they're all pressing, they're all trying to do too much. And like I said, the profile of it all, I think, is the crux of it to me, because it's such a bad trickle down effect. Obviously, the ownership not wanting to reset the luxury tax, whatever the case may be there, that's another factor. And obviously 5 and 13, the pitching hasn't been great either, but we've been in every single game. And yeah, the Verdugo gives me the vibes of Jock Peterson type thing, and I'm hoping. And if I remember correctly, I think he let off some in his Boston days, so maybe that will help. Again, I said something about Eli White being a leadoff guy. Who knows? Maybe he's had some of the best at bats. I mentioned Nick Allen in the 2-hole earlier. Yeah, exactly. So the ranks for our pitching aren't great, but if the margin of error is as small as it is, we're not going to win anyway. And it's hard to really be perfect pitching wise. And it's just you're asking too much, kind of. And I know this would probably, obviously, Murphy's been swinging the bat well. Drake Baldwin's had amazing at bats. I'd like you could see him in the leadoff spot with all the good at bats, because there is a statistic out there that says the Braves have had the most strikes called where the ball was out of the strike zone. So the approach, or whatever the new approach is for Tim Hires, you see some good things, but you see guys caught in between, and then you've got the bad umpiring that you continue to see. I know you have to play through it, but because both sides are what both sides are, but it's still a reality. And that's as simple as it gets. And people want somebody to say something other than I don't know. Well, but they're saying I don't know because they're trying everything under the sun to make this work. And yes, Matt Olson did have some choice words yesterday, which I appreciated. We can't keep doing this this stuff, but a more colorful word all season long, because it's just not sustainable for our pitching staff. It's not sustainable for us to win ball games, and the only thing that matters is winning ball games, and we're finding so many different head-scratchingly annoying ways to lose. And that's, when did Ron Washington after 23 he left, so it's been a couple of years. So, and you're still finding that as an excuse. I get it, it's there, but I think it's a cheap excuse. Like, it's staffs change all the time. It's just the nature of baseball, and I don't know. But we may hear from Alex Anthopoulos tomorrow.